Good evening. Thanks for joining me. I'm Chris, and this is Stampin' with Chris. So today we're going to make this card, and you're going to see 3 different techniques used. We're going to do some embossing, some watercolor, and a little spattering. The set that I'm going to use is called Remarkable You. There is actually 2 different boxes with this, but it's one set. So here's a lotus and some leaves, and You Are Remarkable, and then calla lilies right here. Not quite sure what that flower is, and that's okay, but I'm grateful for you. So you can see it's box 2 of 2, Remarkable You. You're going to want to grab this set. It is so versatile. It's great for weddings, it's great for beautiful thank you cards, maybe a sympathy card, and of course you can use it any way that you want with any sentiment. So let's get started. We're going to start here with this embossing, and you're going to want to get yourself an embossing buddy, and that's going to help you kind of alleviate those spots where you don't want the embossing powder to stay. Almost acts as a static guard, if you will. And then you'll be using Versamark. So what Versamark is, it's a watermarking stamp. You can use this to stamp images on there and let it dry. It does dry fairly slowly, but then you can just kind of get that color on color look. Come in here. I'm just going to stamp this whole thing with these leaves at different angles, move my paper around. So we could be done just like this and have that image showing through. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you it black with black embossing powder. And you're going to want to grab the black embossing powder because that is retiring. So get yours now, but don't worry because there's another very new in color that's coming, copper. I can't wait to play with that. So I'm just going to dump my powder on there and move it around just a little bit. I have this tray that just captures things. It's kind of clever. And move that down. And I like to just give it a little tap here on the back. And now we're ready for our heat tool. So I have my heat tool. I'm going to use my snips to hold it down because it can get hot. And you'll see as it heats up, it melts that embossing powder. And you'll see it turns shiny. That's how you're going to know that that's done. Keep moving that tool around so you don't burn the paper. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. Can you see that black on black? All right, almost done. A couple more little spots. All right, turn that heat tool off. Can you see that? It's a beautiful shine. All right, I'm just going to set that aside for a moment. And what I've done is I've done the exact same thing with this lotus, and then I cut that out. I call that fussy cutting. And I did that because I want to show you that you can use the aqua painter in any color you want. Well, I chose Blackberry Bliss. Again, here's another retiring item. If you don't have Blackberry Bliss, you're going to want to order it today. When this is gone, it is gone. Get the paper, get the ink refillers. This is a gorgeous color. So what I'm doing is I am just pressing with my thumbs and my fingers back here, and that's going to put a little bit of ink right here on this side of the cover. And then I can come in with my aqua painter, so it's just filled with water, and give it a little squeeze. And with watercoloring, the less water you use, the darker the color is going to be. So I'm just coming in a couple different spots and making it a little darker. And as the water is running through this aqua pen or painter, it's getting lighter and lighter. So it's really giving some depth and dimension to our flower here and making it look realistic. And then I'm just coming back in and picking up A little bit of ink. Make sure you keep it on the cover there. You can clean that up with a wipe when you're done, or you can just leave it there so the next time you or one of your customers or a friend comes over, you can aqua paint. All right, almost done here. Look at that. So I have a pond in my yard, and one of the things that I love putting out each year are my garden flowers that go in the pond, and I love to put out this little lotus or a water lily. Then I'm going to come in and do the same thing. I'm going to use some garden green, and again, I'm going to just slide that a little bit, give it a little bit of a squeeze. You can see that the ink ends up there. I'm going to brush that Blackberry Bliss right off. All right, now it's clear. I'm going to pick up a little bit of a green. Do my stem. Voila! It is done. Looks like it could grow right in my garden. I'll let that dry for a moment. Excuse me. Now I used my circle framelets, and again, this is another retiring item. So they're nestled like this. There's a few of them. This one happens to be 2 3/4, and it fit perfectly with this. And I'm going to use that aqua painter again, and I want to use Blackberry Bliss and my aqua painter, so I'm going to get rid of that green on there. There we go. And I'm just going to pick up that Blackberry Bliss, so it's on there. And then I'm just going to use my finger and point it down and flick. There we go. So I get a spattery look and a messy finger. Bonus. Keep some wet wipes in hand. All right. Now we're ready to assemble our card. So I have my background, and I'm going to choose to lift that circle up with a couple dimensionals. Just going to use 3. And then I happened to want to put a little bit of this metallic thread. I'm using gold. It's really fine. So I'm going to wrap it around my fingers. Not too tight. Put a little bit of snail. Grab those ends. I know this has got to be almost impossible for you to see. I'll lift it up. It's really fine. So I have that fringe. I'll put it against this black. How's that? All right. I'm going to peel these pieces off of the dimensional. Place it here on the card. Now I'm ready to put on my lotus. All right, now that we have this much of the card assembled, we're just going to add our lotus on there, and I just used a little of the snail adhesive, and voila! Look at that beautiful card. Again, this will be great to be able to give away as a birthday card, or maybe a sympathy card. Maybe you have somebody that has graduated and you're ready to give them this card for graduation. Make sure that you know the things that are going to retire. So this Blackberry Bliss, make sure you get the ink pad, the refiller, some stock up on the paper, gorgeous color. You'll want to think about getting the circle framelets. These are going to retire. And of course you're going to want to grab some black embossing powder. To do all that, go ahead and stop by my website, www.kris.stampinup.net, and pick up all those supplies. Remember, do it quickly, because once they're gone, they're gone. You're going to want to grab these. See you next time.